Okay, so good morning
Hey,
to
what's
you.
up? Good morning.
Not, we both are up. Yeah, I guess it's afternoon for you. You're on the East Coast, right?
Yes, yes, sir, I am. But even so, I still managed to, not be ready in time.
Well, I got up at 9 a.m., but and I said, oh, I gotta go get a little bit more sleep. And I went
Yeah.
back to bed and set the alarm for 9:50. Then I got up but the thing is I took an Adderall before I even went back to bed. So then when I got up, I was already a little bit more energetic. So, your name is S- Solid Fit Shield. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. But
Oh,
I can, you can call me Michael. It's my name.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Michael.
Uh,
So, have you seen my typing sessions before?
Um, I, I've seen some of it. I've seen a few here and there. I'd say maybe about four, but honestly, not from start to finish.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I never watch them.
Oh
Um,
wow.
well, I've done a lot of them, so I don't really find it entertaining to watch. Um,
Well, that's cool.
How long have you known about cognitive functions?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say really recently. Um, I'd say since 2020, maybe 2021. The beginning of it, right? Just scratching the surface of it. Because of course that's different from MBTI. MBTI would be a different answer. 2015, but cognitive
Okay.
functions. Well, really recently, in fact, with you, I stumbled upon a playlist of yours, like I'd say weeks ago, and that's the most I've gotten from that topic from you. So really, like I maybe ran across it. I came across it 2021, 2022, but not really, like until I found your channel.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the Beatles.
Okay.
You have the sweatshirt on. Do you like the Beatles?
Yeah. I mean, I do. I'll be honest. It's not as if I know their whole discography. It's a matter of I enjoy their music, and the reason for it might be pretty superficial. Whereas, my mom telling me at some point that I look like George Harrison. She just made a comment like that, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And regardless if it's true or not, um, I've always liked the song "Here Comes the Sun," and when I realized that I knew it was the Beatles, but I never realized it was George Harrison's doing the vocals also, right?
Hmm.
Because I thought it was John Lennon or Paul McCartney. I mean, they do the backing vocals, but when I saw it was George Harrison, I'm like, wow, I feel a connection, right? But
Did he write that one?
yeah, exactly, yeah. But I
George
thought,
Harrison. I'm
yeah,
surprised to hear that. I'm
yeah,
surprised to hear George Harrison wrote "Here Comes the Sun" because I think of George Harrison as writing the stinkier of the Beatles songs.
oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, honestly, I'm not like I wouldn't even take offense to that because it's not. I'm not into lingo as much, but I do want to be. But yeah, so and I can see Beatle fans being like, "Oh, that's like the most mainstream song, Beatles, right?"
They've got so many amazingly huge hits that "Here Comes
Yeah,
the Sun" is just one of myriad
yeah,
hits.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They got like "Help," they got "Hey Jude," so many.
Yeah, they've got like albums and albums and albums worth of
Yeah.
singles and hits and shit. So, anyway, okay, cool. Do you tell me more about what music you listen to? You listen to a variety of things. How much you listen to music? What source of music you listen to? Like is Spotify or YouTube or what? Can you tell me more?
Yeah. I listen to all kinds of music. I wouldn't say I'm restricted to one type. Um, but one style of music that I never liked as much was EDM, but a specific type, 2010s EDM. But if I listen to any type of European EDM, electronic dance music. I enjoy
Sure.
it so much. There's this video of this kid. He's like, not sure if he's Albanian or something, but it's like this kid raving at a club to European electronic music, and I, I find that so funny. But yeah, so to answer your question, right? Went off on a tangent. Yeah, all kinds of music. I mean, yeah, there's some songs out there that annoy me that are really famous, and whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh, get off the radio.
Can you give me
And
some examples?
yeah, there's this one song. It came out like 2 years ago by now, or 3 even, and the radio still plays it. I'm like, why? I'm flabbergasted. It's a song. I don't know the guy's name. I think he's African, like actually from Africa. I'm not sure because it's very. I respect the cultural aspect of it, right? Blah blah. But it's with him and yeah, it's with him and Selena Gomez, and it's like,
Okay.
oh lockdown, oh lockdown, oh no 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 no. Like he's just repeating that. Let me look it up real quick. You can still see me, right?
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the song though. I'm
It,
pretty
it
sure.
it's so the sound of it, it's just him repeating. Oh, it's called "Calm Down," sung by Rema and Selena Gomez,
Huh.
and most of the lyrics are like, it's like oh, and then he's just repeating and give me your la 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 la. I find that so lazy. I mean, if it's done well, it's nice, but if it's I wish you could hear it, and then give your opinion on it after. But they played so much, and it's to a point where I hear that guy's voice, and he gets me like just mad. He gets me mad. I'm driving, and I get mad. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think that sounds like in terms of cognitive functions to me?
You know what? To be honest, I'm not even going to try and think of an answer. Enlighten me, please.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking, and this could be totally wrong.
Mhm.
But it's like my initial thought was that sounds a little bit like perhaps countervalued in I to be like if something's too repetitive and simple, then to be annoyed by that, it sounds a little bit like
That's fair. Yeah.
countervalued in I. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the last time you went somewhere out of town on vacation. Can you remember when that was?
Yeah. If you check out my channel, you'll see, and I might as well say it, right? I impulsively, and I'm not an impulsive guy. I'm not. Well, maybe I am, right? But anyways, I impulsively went to a concert, and it was out of town, and so the question was just to tell you about the experience of going out of town.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
yeah. So, where did you go? And how long were you out of town for?
okay,
My first question.
so I went to Manhattan, in New York, right? New York City, Manhattan, and it was, I'd say 2 days total. I got there. In fact, well, I'll just say it. I arrived late for my departure, and which is kind of fitting with this, how this started off, right? Just the postponing and all that stuff. But thankfully, there was a second flight going about hours later, so I was just happy about that. So I managed to make it there, and in just all the series of events, I ended up making it just in time to the concert, and yeah. And then after the concert, I booked a hotel for one night, and then after, that's it. Yeah.
Who did you see?
This group called 50/50. They're a K-pop group, and it's my first K-pop concert. I'm not, well, likewise, with the Beatles. I'm not as in tune with the whole K-pop scene, but from what I've seen, I've been, of course, I've been exposed to it for years, right? Through Blackpink and all these types of groups out there. I'm holding this sock because I've been kind of distracted because I don't have socks on, and I'm kind of cold now. Could I get a pair of socks?
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
That's a very like minimalist space. What do you think that
All right.
means?
Thanks.
Of
Yeah,
course.
so I'll appreciate that. So I'll answer right now. So yeah, it's a group called 50/50, and they're pretty new, and so I saw their music videos, and I'm like, you know what? I like this group. I like their voices. I like the vibe and whatnot. And they're having a concert, and I'm like, you know what? I should probably go. And then I tried going with a friend, right? And I was texting with her, but she was being too wishy-washy, and then I'm like, I can't wait. So I just ended up buying the ticket for myself, and I went. And yeah, so funny thing about that is when all right, I'm good now. Oh, thank you. I won't be looking down as much anymore. So yeah, I arrived to New York. It's my first time in New York City, my first time. So that's pretty cool. And it's funny because I had planned before, Google Maps and all that. I was just thinking like, okay, I could walk. I arrived there, I'll walk and I'll eat at some restaurant nearby, stay in the area. But by the time I got there, it was just in time. And like uh
So why were you late for your departure? Tell me about that.
yeah,
What happened?
yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I'm not, I wouldn't have a reason or excuse, to be honest. I can't really blame it on anything. I have to take accountability for my actions, I guess, or my lack of, I
I mean, you
guess.
didn't do anything wrong. You were just late
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
call.
yeah. I know. Thanks. Yeah, but I guess just a habit of leaving things last minute. Um, also like when I have to go to work, I put the alarm on, and I'm like, okay, 10 more minutes, and then 10 more minutes. No, I turn it off, and I tell myself, all right, just 5 minutes, and then sometimes I fall asleep, and I wake up, and it's past the time, and I'm like, oh. But no, wait. When it comes to the departure that day, I went off on a tangent again. I was pretty methodical, but it's just I wasn't doing it sooner. I guess it was just that. If I would have left my house sooner, would have been better, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. What kind of work do you do?
I'm not doing a career job at the moment or yet, but it's just it's a big company. I'm just in a previous video I mentioned I was a cashier, but I'm not really. It's pretty short staffed, so I'm basically doing a lot of things at once. But it's just a normal company. It's just like it's a retail.
That's fine. That's
It's
fine.
a
That's all
retail
the
job.
detail. I don't
Yeah,
need more detail then.
yeah, yeah.
Do you like interacting with customers and stuff?
Yeah, I do. I do. In fact, I see it as a fun experience where I can try new things, with each person. It's like every day I have a chance to just try something new. In fact, I had this. I haven't really done it fully yet. I've done half of it where I kind of give away the joke before I do it, but I want to do it without giving away the joke just to see the reaction. So from at my job, we have to ask people like, "Oh, do you have a phone number with us?" And I find it to be a funny question, right? I understand it, the company's policy, right? If you're a member, you get discounts and whatnot, and it's
Right.
an it's an incentive for the company, right? The corporation and whatnot. But I find it funny just to just when I ask for the phone number, just be like, "Oh, what's your phone number?" And just pull on my phone and then type it here and be like, "What's your phone number?" Okay, all right, thanks. Yeah, so it'll be 2549. All right, thank you, and just like not acknowledge what I just did.
Yeah.
I I really want, yeah.
You do have like the hot chicks, especially.
Yeah, no, but even then, yeah, of course, yeah. I feel comfortable with the older women because there's attractive moms, and I almost did it, but my boss
They're
was
called
around.
milk. They're called milk.
Yes, the correct term is MILF. Yes, and I tried it, but I before I did it, I ruined the joke because I said, oh, I have this bad joke where I pull out my phone. So, by doing that, I ruined the whole premise. Right?
Well, but you're making it safe too.
Yeah, exactly.
You're making it safe. So
Yeah.
you have to, if you encounter the right person,
Yeah.
what's your phone number? You could take out your phone and type it in. I'm just kidding. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
type it wherever. You do it like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool. So you like to make jokes to the customers. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
One time I went to Burger King here in Mariposa. I was like, "Can I get a meow meow meow?" And he says, "No." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Just kidding."
That's my style of humor right there. That's you reminded me. Where I work at, I didn't realize how coupons were so essential for that whole infrastructure. For the customers, they save their coupons diligently. They save them, and it's like obsessively. And I just wanted one day just have like a megaphone speaker be like, "Today, no coupons will be accepted. If you have a coupon, we're not going to use it." And just see their reactions because they save tons of coupons.
He's like, I'm saying, I'm sorry to report that all coupons are now expired.
Yeah.
It says a different thing on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, ma'am. No,
Yeah.
this is from up high. That's expired.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's not arguments, but I guess close to arguments I have with some customers. It's always regarding the expiration date of a coupon or the coupon not being accepted because the number doesn't match the card and blah, blah. So the whole job ends up being this customer service type scenario about a malfunction with a coupon.
When somebody comes up with a bunch of coupons, you should be like, "Oh my god, coupon!"
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. That's great.
Fantastic. People use a lot of coupons. Are you not a coupon user yourself? I'm not a coupon user.
All right. To be frank, me never. In fact, there's ways to like decrease expenditure of money. I'm not aware of it. I just these things are like fly over my head. I'm just I could have saved money, whatever. But after working here, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep a few coupons here and there. But even then, I end up forgetting it. It's in the kitchen. I'm like, crap, and then by the time I get home, it's like expired already.
You don't have a big binder full of coupons.
Oh, these people do, and the funny thing is that
I've seen people like that before.
yeah, and a thing that I consistently say is, "Oh, nice, you came prepared." Whenever someone has a coupon, it's funny. I've noticed also a shift in their behavior. It's all nice, but then when I'm like, "Oh, the coupon's not working," it's just a shift, right? And then they turn on me, and I think it's funny, right? I never take anything personally, right? But yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. they're, they're willing to die on the hill for that. Yeah. But it's like, but the coupon here says, but it says right here, man, but it's expired. But it says right. It's funny. Yeah.
Okay, well, interesting. So, do you work like a 40-hour week, but
No, it's no one does. It's the person with the highest amount of hours is like 39. So I'm technically part-time, but whenever I do have a shift, usually it's like it's 8 hours, so it's a full shift. And I work mostly nights or afternoons or sometimes mornings. Yeah, so it's a rotating schedule. Yeah.
that's what happens when the government legislates that certain companies, certain sites have to provide healthcare to full-time employees. Nobody has any full-time employees.
You're right. No, you're right. You're exactly right. In fact, my last job, I was always on the cusp of 40. I was making out like 39 hours. In fact, at one point, 39.5. and it's because of that. You're right. It's they do their best to like just keep you away from that 40 mark, from that 40-hour mark.
Oh, sure. They're trying to not incur these legal mandated. I'm sorry to feed the squirrel here.
No, you're fine. It's a nice tour of the house. I like your house.
Thanks. He's standing here. Wait, he's patting the wall. He does the pat on the wall when he wants me to feed him. So yes, I would give you food. Look, I'll show it to you.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh,
wait,
wow.
there,
I
he's
saw
going
him. Yeah.
straight. Okay, so this is not like YouTube. When I switch the camera to the other direction on YouTube, I have to push it twice for some reason. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. All right, squirrel. There you go. There's your delicious cutlets. Okay, so tell me about your time back when you were. Oh, you're still
Oh, hi.
there.
Sorry.
No problem. Can you tell me about back when you were in high school? What kind of like what classes you liked, what classes you didn't like, stuff like that?
Yes, I loved history, English. English because of the literature aspect, but the grammar aspect I still enjoyed, right? But history was my favorite one. It came easy to me. Were you able to
What'd you
read?
say? What was that last thing you said?
It came easy to me.
Oh, Kim using me.
History.
It sounded like you said Kim using me.
No, Kim. No, it was consensual, Kim. Yeah. Well, I mean, looking back, probably not, because she probably had a lot in mind or something. I don't know. I was the naive one.
What classes did you not like?
Oh, math. Oh, math. Oh man, math. Oh yeah, math. I hated math.
Was it difficult or just boring?
I'm not sure, to be honest. That's a good question. Maybe if it was just well, to be honest, there's elements to it. I never did homework. But what would save me would be people complain about standardized assessments, right? Which I understand. But from my experience, that's what saved me from failing each year. I would pass them, and that would kind of like balance out because I would never do homework. So I thank God for the standardized assessments, because with those like tests, I would do well, in math and all that and everything. It's just for the actual classwork I would do, but then the homework and whatnot, that's where I would, not do well.
Did you tell yourself often like, this time I'm gonna do this homework, and then just still not do it?
Yes. Like I'd come home and I'd sit down and be like, you know what? I'll make a change in my life. From here on forth, I'm gonna do my homework. And no, it wouldn't pan out. Like I'd sit down and it's just school.
It was boring. It was the problem.
Yeah, I see it as just like, I hate school. And first of all, whoever came up with the idea of school, I don't know, man. If I had a time machine, just go back and knock some sense into them or something. Or maybe it was malevolent to begin with, but
Hey, back in the olden days, it was actually a good thing, probably.
Yeah, you're right. Probably shifted, I guess, with Common Core. But the thing with Common Core that I like I mentioned, is the standardized testing. That saved me, right? So I appreciate that, because it's like, and my teachers, they'd be like, "Oh, so I guess you're not a complete fool, right?" Because I would pass them, and I wouldn't just nearly pass them. I would do well on them. I would look forward to it. Like I would feel vindicated, basically, right? And what was I saying with the homework? Yeah, so school. I would see it as, so it's like, okay, I went to school, I showed up, and you want me to still think about school when I'm home, and so it's like I would just see it as more than just as if it's not just a matter of me being bored. I would just get annoyed at it as it's just the metaphorical aspect of it, the symbology of it. It's like, I went to school, I come home, you still want me to think about it, and you're gonna give me work also. It's like, I don't know.
Do your fucking job. Educate me while I'm at school.
Yes.
How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. Exactly.
Instead of giving me work to educate myself after school.
Yes. Indeed.
It's bullshit. But
Yeah.
regardless, I can see why you didn't like it. The parts you didn't like about school. I also hated about school. I had a terrible time getting homework done, but
Oh
I
yeah.
did. I got some of it done, and some of it it was like here's a class where you cannot just get by on sort of natural intelligence test taking skills is chemistry. Did you ever take chemistry?
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah. Chemistry. Yeah, you're right about that.
I got a D the first semester. Then I dropped it. I hated it so much.
I love that's my style. I love it because like you hear these like overused motivational stories where it's like, yeah, I had a D, then I studied hard, then I got a C, then a B, then I passed. I like your stories like
Now
that.
I'm a professional
Yeah.
chemist.
Yeah, I like your story. I got a D, then I dropped out. That's me. Yeah. Oh,
The only reason I was able to get a
yeah.
D was I kept copying my friend Chris Morrow's homework.
It's cool you still remember his first name, last name. Yeah, with chemistry, it's a lot of it also ended up being just memorization, right? And which is difficult. I think I'm pretty good at memorizing things if I try, but with chemistry, it's just a whole different league. And
There's not any logic behind it, right? It's just
yeah,
you do this and this catalyst, and then you get this thing.
yes,
But it's not like math. Like math is different. There's some
yeah,
logic to it, right?
yeah.
I didn't
Problem
like math
solving.
either, but
Yeah, no, but I get what you mean with math. There's problem solving. Chemistry is just basically just acknowledging the truths, I guess, right? The sequential truths of the elements. But yeah. Is it fine if I put pants on? I got my PJs, but I'm really
you
cold.
do your thing. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm like shaking here.
Yeah, go for it. I have pants on. Right. I already know we're gonna publish this one. He said he wanted to publish it on his channel and mine. I didn't know he had a channel. Solid fit shield. I want to ask him about his clean room. I want to ask him about. I haven't even started asking him any function questions yet. Hopefully he's got time. I mean, I'm thinking. You're probably thinking too. I think we're all thinking. Right, the show God is Jesse Fuller.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Is your room always clean like this? Or is your
Well, I don't have much stuff, so it's easier for me. That's probably why I have it this way. So it's, I guess, cleaner. I don't have much stuff anymore. When I was younger, I would have posters and all that kind of stuff for movies and but it's been pretty empty like this for years. There's an interesting thing, it's pretty relevant, so I guess I'll mention it. I feel like I have a clearer mind when it's just empty, when the walls are just empty.
yeah.
I feel like my thoughts are just enough. If I had posters, it would just be intrusive, you know.
Physical objects. I don't like physical objects.
Yeah, me neither.
Like this is fucking horrible. Look at this. How horrible it is. All these little objects.
But it's not so bad. I mean, compared to like from what I've seen, it's pretty vast. Your living room. I saw last night when you were doing poker. It's pretty vast. There's space, so it's nice.
Yeah. So what do you do when you're not at work and you're not socializing out in the world or out in the world doing something? What do you do? Do you watch like YouTube? Do you read? Yeah.
Yes, that's a good question. Well, recently I've just I go on YouTube a lot, and it's pretty interesting because apparently I saw this well, not a poll, like the statistic or whatnot. I don't know who made it. I don't know if it's legit, but apparently men in general, we use, when it comes to usage of apps or what we do, YouTube is like the highest. So apparently men use YouTube the most, and women use TikTok or Instagram a lot more. But anyways, point being, to answer your question, yeah, YouTube. I'm on YouTube a lot, and I watch these long form videos. Just maybe someone doing stand up. It depends. He has to be good. Or podcasts. No, not really. If it's interesting topics, basically, and if it's an interesting topic, I'll watch it. Yeah.
What are some interesting topics for you?
It's a great question. This is a cool interaction. I like this. Thank you for having this with me. Interesting topic. You know, okay. So I'm gonna be honest. It's also entertainment, right? Because I was thinking of I've seen a lot of Howard Stern interviews, and his like with Norm Macdonald or different people, or him on going somewhere else. Not just him, but different people. Those interviews, interactions. Letterman or Conan. Also Craig Ferguson. I think he's underrated as a late night talk show host. Then James Corden came on after Craig Ferguson, and it's like, anyways.
Who do you think the worst late night host is?
Seth Meyers.
Okay.
Because he's just, no offense to you, Seth, but he's just, I would never, he's boring, like actually boring. Like he's boring. Like there's no, and then after him, I'd say Kimmel. Fallon gets a lot of hate over laughing and all that stuff. But on the positive note, at least there's an energetic exchange, right? At least there's something. With Kimmel, it's just kind of boring. Seth Meyers is really boring. I like Craig Ferguson. I like the the stupidity of like the horse, the puppet horse, and the robot, the gay robot. Those aren't my words. That's if you watch Craig Ferguson show.
I'm not familiar with it, but I'm getting a good sense of what kind of stuff you like to watch.
Yeah. So he has.
You like comedians and stuff, right?
Yeah. If it's done well, right? I don't.
Who's somebody else you like besides Norm Macdonald as a comedian?
Yeah. Good question. Someone else I like. Well, it might be kind of hard because I've been watching Norm for years, and it's been like where I stopped. And so recently, I've been kind of re-emerging into his content again after a while. So I can't really remember. Well, Dave Chappelle. I've always loved Dave Chappelle, and I like the new one. But to be honest, I noticed there's like a difference with the Dave from back in Chappelle show era before he left, and then when he came back. He came back, he looked different, right? I just feel like there's like a difference because I can still rewatch Dave Chappelle's like, for what it's worth, or his old stand-up, and it's so great. And I'm not sure if he just evolved as a person, but I'd say specifically Dave Chappelle before he left.
Have you seen his SNL,
Yes.
SNL monologue?
Yeah, I liked it.
It's fantastic.
I liked it. I liked it. No, and here's the thing that made me like him more. No, and he's never done anything I don't like since he's come back. But it's just his style. I don't remember him. He definitely changed it. Like before he's
understated. He's understated because he had some sort of conflict with himself as an artist. I think he just grew up, got older, and
makes sense.
Because self-reflecting and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Very self-reflecting because I was going to mention the pauses, right? How like now he pauses, just like the so subtle things. Before he wouldn't really pause as much, and his voice is deeper, and also he's like thicker and smoking. Where I just I got acclimated to the old Dave Chappelle, who's this skinny guy, which relatable, right? We can relate to that. And I liked how something that stuck with me when I was growing up was him saying that he likes being skinny because he's agile. We can run away, we can climb a tree, we can, we're fast. And then when I saw him come back, I'm like, he went to the gym. We lost him. No, but he's great.
Do you think he started working out? Is that what happened?
Oh, well, I mean, he had to. He looks a lot like he's been to the gym, Which
I
I
just
don't.
thought he got fat.
Oh, okay. If that's the case, then that's different. But I mean, I don't know. I noticed some nice. I guess some nice. It seems like he worked out a bit.
Yeah,
Um,
that's horrible. If that's true, that makes me sad.
oh, thank you. So I'm not. I thought I was being superficial about it, but thanks. I
Yeah,
appreciate
I
it.
mean, yeah, it's like I think that caring about making your body caring about your body a lot is just like
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
exactly. I'm anti-gym. That's why I'm not a gym guy. Yeah, let me pay some money to go sweat with other guys and just be in this environment. And I don't know. It's just like if I really wanted to, which I would do in the past, I could just do push-ups in my house. What's the point of going to the gym?
Well, my friend Cameron, he is just like the gym a lot as well, but his position on it is, why don't you just do some manual labor?
Yes, yes, no, that's true. That's correct. You think,
Um,
yeah,
okay, so are you the same way about your diet? Do you just eat whatever you feel like eating and
yeah,
nothing?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And you
But
stay skinny regardless?
exactly, yeah, it's genetic. My dad's also skinny, and my dad has, he's because he works a lot of he has a lot of physical aspects in his job. So as your friend Cameron said, that's applies to my dad. That's how he's in shape. And with me, yeah, I'm skinny, but it's genetic. I'm thankful for it. Also, when it comes to like building muscle, if I really tried, I have in the past, but I'm chill when it comes to that. I don't really have to, anyways, to answer your question about the diet, I don't really care about it until I'm forced to, like until it's like right in my face where I have to do it. And the best way to convince anyone, in my opinion, to make a change in their diet is if a certain consequence of eating something will give you a horrible lesion in your face. I think that'll persuade anyone be like, okay, I'll drop that. That was my case.
What did you end up dropping?
Milk. Oh, like
Oh,
just cow
okay.
milk, which I loved. Right, I'm not a vegan or vegetarian. I love cow milk, or just any dairy, anything with dairy. And then it got to a point where you know, whenever I would eat it, that would happen. So I stopped. So I guess I do have a diet, but it was only because of that reason, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You should switch to human milk.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh, okay. So I hope you have time because
I do.
obviously I haven't even started asking you any
Oh,
functional
oh,
questions
great.
yet.
No, I have all the time to. Thank you so much. Really. Also, time. Just real quick. Whenever so the concert I went to was great, and I paid for my first time doing this. I told myself if I'm going to go to this concert, let me do the whole thing, and I did the meet and greet, and it wasn't
Really?
as yeah. It's my first time, and it wasn't as pricey. Thankfully, right? I don't want to downvalue it. It was great. It was awesome, and I'm glad it wasn't as pricey, and I could afford it. And here's the thing about me, it's not like I have much money to spare, right? But I still did it. So it was pretty impulsive, I guess. But I'm like, what's the point? Let me just do it. Yeah. So I did the meet and greet, and it was great. But speaking of time and all that, you just reminded me. You have like 45 seconds with each member. So there's 5 members, and you have to. The way it was so structured reminded me of school. I understand why, for safety. So they're like, have the object you need to be signed ready. If not, you're going to be removed. I'm like, well, the worst thing that could happen is for me to be removed, after all I went through to get there. And I had this like notebook, and I put these post-it notes on each page for like each member so they could sign. And like half of the 45 seconds I had with each member were wasted with me trying to find, I was like, the page for them to sign. So that, when it comes to time and the way I talk, I don't even notice, it's not that I like taking my time on purpose. It's just the way I am, I guess, where there might be a lot of ums or, pauses. So imagine that with a constricted time, it was all right, but it's not, whoa, what did I do? What did I do? I pressed something. Oh, shit.
You-
Oh,
wow.
okay, I'm good. I pressed a button on my keyboard. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I feel like an older man. I don't know, like I was people told me I'm like an older man, but at the same time, I've been called childish. So I guess I have range. Well, yeah. So when it comes to time, it was just so to answer your question, well, not you didn't ask anything, just to point out that I like having time. I appreciate
Sure,
time.
sure.
Right.
You like to explain all the parentheticals.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that sounds cool. Thanks.
Uh, all right. So, can you tell me about your sleep habits?
Yes. If I could define it in 2 words, it'd be um sleep deprivation. That's very usual for me. I know, to be honest, it's gotten better. When I was in school, I'd always be sleep deprived, and it was horrible. And people would ask me if I was on drugs. Like, "Oh, are you high?" I'm like, "No, I'm not high. I'm just sleep deprived." Um, but yeah, so
How
sleep
many
habit.
hours do you need? How many hours do you need a night?
It depends. Sometimes 7 hours is enough, or 8 hours. Thing about me is, if I know there's a schedule the next day or an appointment, it messes me up. It doesn't mess me up, but it doesn't let me relax and all that. So I'm like, okay, if I get up at this time, I'll have no. If I go to sleep now, I'll have 6 hours to sleep, right? So that happens usually a lot. And in fact, with my job, I'd be up till like 5 a.m. sometimes. So I guess I'm a night owl. Um, and I would just be like telling myself, looking at my phone and being like, when I put the alarm, you can see the timer when you put the alarm on, right? How much time is left. And I'd be like, wow, so if I go to sleep now, I'd have 4 hours of sleep. So that's pretty common for me, that pattern.
I see. And then do you take a nap at some point?
Um, when I was in school, when I would get home, yes, yes. Now with my job, it wouldn't work out because it's not applicable. Because so let's say I start at 2 p.m., right, from 2 to 9 or 2 to 10 or 2 to 11, etc. I would wake up at 1. Like I honestly wake up as late as can be, to a point where I don't even eat sometimes when I head out, and it's not really planned. I just do it. It's like, oh, let me just sleep more, and when I'm getting ready, I'm like, oh, had to sacrifice eating.
I see. Uh, okay. So let me ask you some TI questions now.
Okay.
If every man at the park is named Bob, and some people named Bob have a dog, then is it necessarily the case that some people at the park have a dog?
So everyone's named Bob, and some people, some Bobs out there have a dog. And the question was, is it the case? What was the final statement,
That
please?
some people at the park have a dog.
If it's true or false?
I'll repeat the whole thing.
Yeah.
Every man at the park is named Bob.
Yes. Every man parts.
Some people in the world named Bob have a dog. Is
Some
it
people,
necessarily the
some
case?
people in the world or in the park.
No, in the world.
Okay, and some people in the world. Okay.
Some Bobs have dogs.
Okay.
Is it necessarily the case that some people at the park have dogs? I might change the question.
Well, no, it's fine. I'll just answer it, even if I'm wrong. I'd say yes. Yeah, some people do have dogs in the park.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be my answer.
I don't think it is the case. But
Okay.
let me ask you another one.
Okay.
If only people from Argentina play shoots and ladders, if only people from Argentina play shoots and ladders, and I am from Argentina. Do I necessarily play Chutes and Ladders?
Okay, so only people from Argentina play shit. No, it's not the case because you're Argentinian, but it's just because you're Argentinian doesn't mean you play. It's just the
Right.
case that Argentinians play that, but
Okay, cool. If no Canadians like rodeo and I dislike rodeo, am I necessarily Canadian?
no, it's just you don't have to be. It's just
Yeah.
happen. Yeah,
Right.
you don't have to
Right.
be Canadian. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask you a genealogy question.
Okay.
We're going to start with a simple one, and we'll get a little more complicated as you get it. Okay. So the simple one is, who is my mother's father's wife in relation to me?
Your mother's father's wife, your grandma.
Mm-hmm. And who is my sister's mother's sister's daughter in relation to me?
My sister's mother's sister's cousin.
Correct. And who is my father's mother's husband's only daughter-in-law's only daughter's only brother related to me?
Daughter-in-law's brother. So okay.
Daughter-in-law's daughter's brother. Daughter-in-law's only daughter's brother.
So I guess like
So
a
my
cousin-in-law?
father, no, it's me. It's me.
Okay, sorry, can you repeat it?
Yeah, it's my father's mother's husband's only daughter-in-law's only daughter's brother.
Only daughter-in-laws.
So my
Only
father's mother's only daughter-in-law. My father's mother's husband is my grandfather. His only daughter-in-law
Yeah.
is my mother. My mother's only
Oh,
daughter is my sister. My sister's
okay.
only brother is me.
Okay, so it probably said it was a daughter-in-law was your mom. I thought it could have been like an aunt.
Well, it can't like that can't be because it's his only daughter-in-law, and so
Well,
since it
I mean like an aunt-in-law because it's not. There's no like it's an
yeah, okay,
in-law.
it's a complicated question. It's fine.
Yeah.
Your TI seems pretty good. How about this question? If there are 6 cockles in a barrel and 4 barrels each contain 2 yurts. 6 cockles in a barrel, 2 yurts in a barrel. How many cockles are there? How many cockles are there per yurt?
There's 6, and you said only 2 of them have only 4 of them have.
There are 6 cockles in a barrel.
Wait, I'll be honest. I'm not really familiar with. Is this it's a gun, right, or a barrel, or?
No, these words are meant to not. These words don't mean anything.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the point of this question. Right? There's 6 cockles in a barrel, and there are.
Coggle. What is that? I'm not familiar with that term. Coggles. I know
It doesn't
barrels.
mean anything.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So there's
There's
six
cockles, 6
coggles
cockles in a barrel,
and
and
a
each
barrel.
barrel contains 2 yurts. How many cockles are there per yurt? I mean, how many yurts are there in a cockle?
Can you repeat one more time?
There's 6 cockles in a barrel. And a barrel is also could also be said to contain 2 yurts. So how many cockles per yurt?
Okay. So there's 6 in a barrel. Each barrel has 2 of the something else. And can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a barrel equals 6 cockles,
Okay.
and it also equals 2 yurts,
Mm-hmm.
how many cockles are there per yurt?
Oh, 3. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah.
The thing is, the reason I use that's those questions with those non-meaningful words
Mm-hmm.
is because people there's some functions configurations can't think of language like that as being a variable, right? You
Yeah,
don't need to
yeah.
know specifically what it means, but it's just a
No,
set name.
you're on point. In my head, I just when you told me just to not take it, as serious matter, I just labeled it. I labeled it as an X, like a variable, and then
Right,
equate
sure.
X or Y, and that helped me out.
Okay, so now let me do some any questions.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just want to mention real quick, it's irrelevant. When I was looking down, I wasn't on my phone. I was cutting my nails. My nails are cut now. My phone's on the side here. I'll just put it here. So when I was looking down before, I was just cutting my nails. I'm done.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you the beginning of a story,
Okay.
and I want you to finish the story.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
The beginning of the story is this. There's a family of owls, which include Mama Owl, Papa Owl, Brother Owl, and Sister Owl. Okay.
Mama,
And then,
Papa, and sister.
yeah,
Okay.
Papa, Mama, Brother, and Sister.
Okay.
The four owls in the owl family.
Okay.
They're sitting in their owl tree near little Susie's house one day. And little Susie comes out and says, "You owls need to get out of here because I'm tired of listening to you hoot, hoot, hoot
Hold
all
all
the
day.
time."
Yeah.
Now you finish the story.
And I can't ask questions. Oh, I guess I could take it anywhere. Okay, so Susie is very anti-owl. She's very discriminatory against owls. That's funny. Yeah, where can I take this? So many possible endings. Okay, so she's talking to the owls, right? So that's interesting. Because normally people don't talk to animals, right? We don't. I mean, we could talk to them.
I'm assuming these owls can speak English too. So
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. Wow. So she has nerve, right? She has nerve talking that way to them. Because they speak English. She's like, wait, she said to them, "Get out of here," or she said,
yeah, so you owls need to get out of here. I'm tired of listening to you hooting all the time.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know why that's so funny to me. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Okay.
Take a moment. Take a moment just think about it. Decide where you want to go with it, and then go ahead and go.
Yeah. And, they're on her. They're like on a tree that's beside her house, or on.
Yeah, but it's I'll add a little bit of detail here. It's actually not on her property.
Oh,
It's
okay.
one of
Yeah.
the trees that's planted. It's planted like kind of off on the other side of the sidewalk.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I was gonna say like if it's in her property, she might use that argument. Okay, so it's like she has no she has no stance. She can't really do anything about it. Would be well. That's not my ending. I'm just me thinking out loud. She can't really do anything about it. They have their rights as an owl to be there. It's their territory. Okay, so she's being hostile to them, right? Aggressive and whatnot. And okay, so it just depends. Owls are wise, right? Owls are supposed to be wise, right? That's the trope, right? So how would a wise owl respond to a vindictive, hostile, remark like that? So my ending would be, correlated to like how a wise entity would respond to that, and how would someone wise respond to a hostile person? It'd be funny. There's so much potential there. If I can think of a funny pun that involves an owl, I can't think of any at the moment. But my ending's gonna be real boring and stale. It'd be like 2 thumbs down. But I'd say, okay, so she's telling me get the fuck out, right? She's like, get the out of here. Tired of hooting all day, and okay, it just came to mind. I don't know. I don't know if they say who, and then she's like, "You who? You?" But you said they speak English, so it wouldn't work out. Or maybe they're just being mischievous on purpose. So I would just say, they're just gonna play around with her. They're gonna just mock her, and they're gonna keep saying hoot,
Okay. All right.
and then she's gonna be like, I know you speak English, and they're gonna be like, who? I don't know.
All right. So I'm going to demonstrate what I would call just a stream of consciousness flowing kind of story, and then I'm going to give you another story start and see if you can imitate what I did. Okay. So for the owl story, it goes like this. You owls need to get out of here. I'm tired of listening to your hooting all day. And Father Owl says, listen here, young lady. I see you come out in this front yard. I see you throw rocks at things, the squirrels, the birds. Yeah, here you are yelling at us. This isn't even your tree. Maybe you're the one who needs to get out of here. And she's shocked and offended to hear this. She said, I don't need to get out of here. I'm a human being. You're just a bunch of dirty owls.
Oh,
and then the mother owl said, that's it. Harold, just stay at us. I'm going to go deal with this lady. And the father owl says, remember, Mary, that she's just a child. And then Susie says, I'm not a child. I'm 13 years old. And then the brother owl says, yeah, Dad, 13 is not a child. I know, I'm 13. And then Mom says, Betty, you're telling me to sit here on this branch and get the fuck up. I gotta go deal with this girl. And then the owl mother flies over and goes with her talons like this. And Susie's like, you're attacking me. Get out of here, you stinky now. And then the mother owl scrapes a big scrape on Susie's face. And Susie runs screaming into the house. And the next day, the city comes and they say, listen, you owls, you got to get out of here now because you scratched that little girl. You're lucky we don't capture you and euthanize you for being a problem owl. And they said, the father said, we're not the problem here. It's that horrible little girl. You know that she throws rocks at squirrels and stuff. I was afraid she didn't throw rocks at me. And the city workers are like, well, we empathize, but unfortunately, you broke the law when you assaulted her, and we don't have a jail for owls, so you're gonna have to move. So the owls ended up moving to a different tree down about a block and a half away. I had a nice little girl, and her name was Julie, and she and the owls were good friends. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, so try. Yeah, I can give you a different story starter. I want you to try to do something like that where there's dialogue back and forth. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be good. Okay, right?
I see what you mean. Yeah, no, and one thing, if I could just add just a little detail, something I would have said was like, yours was fantastic. If the owl would have been like, I see you're so nice with the squirrels. Why not us? Just like make that point. You know how Susie's so nice with the squirrels, but not the owls.
That would have been better. You're right. It would have been more consistent with her as specifically an owl hater. I could have put her in a t-shirt that says, owls aren't wise. They're stupid.
Just to rub it in and dig it in. Yeah.
Okay. So here's a new story starter. There's a couple. The man's name is Barry, and the woman's name is Barlene. Barry and Barlene. Okay. And they are hiking on a volcano with their dog in Hawaii. They're hiking up the volcano. It's active, but supposedly safe. But all of a sudden, they hear a rumble, and they start seeing some smoke and some lava. And their dog, whose name is Bortle, Barry, Barlene, and Bortle, their dog slipped onto a ledge, and the lava is starting to pop up and stuff. Now you finish the story.
Okay. Question. So the ledge is, into the, the volcano crater.
Yeah, it's not. He's above the lava.
Okay, so he's like holding on with his paw.
So the dog's, standing on a ledge. There's plenty of room on the ledge.
So it's like a section.
Yeah, a little section. Like you imagine a caldera. Yeah. Right. He's like on a ledge here.
Gotcha.
Here.
Gotcha. Okay. Would you say like 10 feet maybe down?
You get to decide that.
Okay. Okay. So Barry and Barlene. Okay, so Barlene yells. She's like, ah! And then what's the dog's name? Is Barry Barlene?
Bortle.
Could I just refer to him as dog? I might forget.
Yes, sure. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And I'll say she and he. So she sees the dog and she screams, "Ah, Barry!" He's like, "What do you want now?" And then she's like, "The dog! You found the crater!" And then so the thing about Barry is that he's gonna act surprised, but deep down he's been wanting to get rid of that dog for months because that dog keeps shitting all over the house, peeing all over the house. It's a mess. In fact, he's technically allergic to dogs, right? But he wanted to get the dog to try and fix the relationship he had with his girl, Barlene, because they've been on the rocks. She's infertile. She can't have kids. So when he saw her being so like nurturing towards the dog, he's like, you know what, this might remedy our connection. It might fill that void.
The dog also speaks English, by the way.
Oh. Okay. That's good. So he's like, it might fill that void, but he did it reluctantly because deep down he hates pets and he's allergic to pets, to dogs and cats also. And he's like, you know what, I'll do it for her. But so like the first day in, he did it, but after that first day, the first night, he's like, man, what I get myself into? And then for some reason, later that morning, he accidentally stepped on a dog, right? And the dog shrieked, "Hey, what the hell, man?" And then that's when he realized the dog can talk. And that kind of changed it up for him. He's like, wow, this dog is like no other dog, right? And then Barlene saw that dog can talk now. So like this is kind of interesting. Like in a sense, he's surprised, dumbfounded that the dog can talk. But when she saw a dog can talk, she's even more in love with the dog, right? It's like a special dog. So he's dumbfounded and surprised that the dog can talk. But after seeing that she's even more in love with the dog, he's like, oh shit, how am I going to get rid of the dog now? It's not just a dog; it's a unique dog that can talk. So that's
the dog's such a know-it-all. He's always the
kind
of like everything,
Yeah, like a wise ass, always making those wise, witty remarks, one-liners. So when Barry messes up, dog's like, "Oh, no surprise there," and she laughs at they laugh at his expense. So point is, Barry already was against the idea of having a dog. Then the dog talks, so that makes the dog like just even more of a special creature. So Barry hates the dog. Barry wants to kill that dog. And Barry's also sick of the dog emasculating him all the time. I mean, Barry wants to have sex with his wife. Then this dog comes in, creeps in between them both, and cuddles with her and cock blocks her, right? And yeah. And then Barry's like, oh man. And so Barry concocts this idea, let's go to a volcano, right? Let's go to a fucking volcano with this big crater. And then she's like, okay, who's going to take care of the dog? And he's like, oh, you know what? I don't trust the dogs here. You never know. It might be risky. Let's take him with us. But in his mind, he wants to kill the dog. So that's why he chose a volcano. One of a dangerous, well, not dangerous, but a potentially dangerous place, right? Mm-hmm. And he specifically researched a volcano that was recently announced as not being dormant anymore. She's like, Barry, why do we have to drive 300 miles? He's like, oh, it's a special volcano. Trust me, the scenery is beautiful. But that's why. It was that one's not dormant anymore. So they went all the way there.
They passed 2 lesser volcanoes on the way there.
No, it's funny. That it's not even that nice of a volcano. It's kind of an ugly one. And they passed better looking ones. She's like, but Barry, like, no, it's worth it. Trust me. And so it's evident. What she doesn't know, but that he wants to kill the dog, and then so they're in there, and then he's like, "Oh, honey, go take some pictures of that. I don't know, fucking stone over there. I don't know, that rock's nice. It's a nice boulder." And then he's with the dog.
It's just not impressing me.
Yeah, and then so when he gets rid of her for like a few seconds, he kicks the dog. He kicks the dog, and then the dog. Screams out, "Fuck you!" And then he falls into the ledge. But
it was attempted murder?
Yes, attempted murder. But the fucked up part is that the dog can talk, right? And he's alive still. So it becomes a thing where, the dog's gonna be saying, hey, Barry tried to just murder me right now. He just tried to kill me right now. So
what is it? Oh yeah, what are you talking about? Barry, is that true? No. I slipped and my foot may have, I don't know, touched it. I'm so sorry, but it was an accident.
And then the dog interrupts him saying, bullshit! You literally said to me, I've always fucking hated you before you kicked me into the crater. And then Barry's like, no, I meant to say I fucking hate this rock because I stubbed my toe. And then the dog's like, bullshit! You specifically said I've always fucking hated you. Then you kicked me. And then she's like, Barry, is this true? What's going on? I can't say. I'm so confused. You know, she's just like, you know, she's the type of woman that's just confused, and I just can't right now. I just can't. And then Barry is like, well, I don't know, what do we do? And then she's like, well, go get him. He's like, are you crazy? I can't just go there and get him. I can't risk my life. Then she's like, I'd rather you die than the dog. And then Barry's and then Barry's like, and then when she said that, you know, Barry just like he went stoic. He went, oh really, huh? And it was this kind of like unideal. It's not fortunate, but you know, at that point was kind of the culmination of, you know, years of emasculation from his wife and the dog. And then he already felt like he was like already like, you know, like not deep in, but like half deep in by trying to kill the dog. But now after she said that, he's like, you know, I might as well just go all the way. So he shoves her into the crater and, you know, kills her. And then he looks for a boulder and tries to, you know, kill the fucking dog, you know, throwing a boulder at the dog. And then so what's the ending? Well, he just killed his wife, unfortunately. I don't know why it went so dark, but my point being, he killed his wife. And he's looking for a boulder, and the dog's like, you fucking coward, you just killed your wife, how fucking dare you? And then he's like, now I'm gonna kill you, fucking pest. And then he looked for a boulder, and he's able to, you know, at least he injures the dog, he cripples the dog, right? So the dog is crippled by lava. And then Barry says, you know what? I'm gonna leave you there to just fucking suffer and starve to death. And then he just fucking leaves. And then you know, as he's leaving, I don't know, I guess the camera stays there, I don't know, whatever. And then we see like vultures roaming the area. And, you know, they're obviously making their way towards the dog, you know.
Fade to black.
Yeah.
Excellent job. Well, I mean, I feel pretty confident that I know what type you are. But I'm gonna ask you some other questions here to just sort of confirm shit. Can you tell me about your feelings? For example, what emotions do you feel right now?
Well, right now, well, it doesn't count as emotion, but I'm cold. I don't know why my hands get cold all the time. I have to rub my hands all the time. But emotion, right? I feel comfortable. If I had gloves on, I would feel even more comfortable. Because it's just cold. But okay, so emotional, right? Emotionally, I feel comfortable. I feel nice.
Okay.
This is awesome. Yeah.
That's fine.
You're fine. Yeah.
What do you do when you feel sad, or how do you know when you're sad?
Sad. You know, the thing about sad is that I guess maybe that's different from, you know, feeling introspective. You know, let's say you're driving and a nice song comes on the radio and you're driving and you're just in the zone and you're thinking about life, but that's not sad. That's just being introspective, right? Sad. Like, so it's a sad from, you know, from your interior, not reacting to like a sad scene from a movie, right?
Okay, I mean that's a good distinction to make. I'm gonna segue the question into this.
Okay.
What is the physical sensation? Do you have a physical body sensation that goes along with being sad?
No, I mean, I know people use those phrases like, "Oh, my heart aches." People say that, but when I'm sad, I mean, I don't really feel anything physically. I wouldn't say physically, no. To be honest,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Let me ask you some TE questions. Can you break down the task of getting a refund on a sweater that you bought, that somebody bought you from a brick and mortar store? Like
You know what's funny? I would never get a refund. I mean, just the way I am, I would just.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm the same way. You just chalk it up as a loss, right?
Yeah. It would end up being abandoned in my closet somewhere. And
but I want you to break it down to 5 steps.
Okay, 5. Okay, okay. Well, to be honest, I'm gonna use this as inspiration. My customers who it's insane. I had this customer. It's real quick. I've never seen this before. She bought like a can of like Starbucks coffee or something. She drank half of it, comes back asking for a refund. She's like, I don't like the taste. And I'm like, you drank half of it. Yeah, you couldn't realize after the first sip. And so I called my manager and he accepted it. And it's like, oh, that's cheating. I mean, we can do that. If I knew I could do that, I probably still wouldn't do it. But that's insane. All right, so point
It's
being,
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
yeah, and then a different customer also with something
But in
else.
this scenario, someone bought you a sweater and sent you the receipt to the gift receipt, so you can go get, you can exchange it, return if you want. And you got to go to J.C. Penney's, okay, someplace like that.
Okay.
So break it into 5 steps.
Okay. So I go to J.C. Penney. So that's not one step. So I'm at the register. So first step being announcing I want a refund. Hey, I want a refund. I have the receipt here.
Let me demonstrate this, and I'll give you another thing to break down. Okay.
Okay.
So for the sweater, it would be, I get the sweater from in the box that it came in. I go to the car, drive to the store, go to the register, get my refund.
Okay.
So that would be an example of breaking something into 5 steps. Now, here's a different task. Can you break making a grilled cheese sandwich into 5 steps?
Okay. So, all right. So I'm assuming it's just bread and cheese. So get the bread, get the cheese. I don't know. Take the bread out of the fridge, take the cheese out of the fridge, combine the bread and the cheese. That's the third step. Wait, grilled cheese, right? I forgot how grilled cheese. I haven't eaten that because cheese. I haven't eaten that in a while. They microwave it or do they melt the cheese first?
Here's another task. Different task. Can you break down
Let's do it again.
taking out the trash into 5 steps?
Oh, taking out the trash. 5 steps. Okay. Okay, so trash is there already. It's in the trash bag already. It's already there. Trash is full of trash. In fact, I left it till the last second. It's like almost gonna be like over the capacity of it. It's over capacity. Okay, so I tie the fucking knot, right? Tie the knot, double knot it because I don't want it fucking falling. That's the first step. All right, and then the second step is lifting it up, and then exiting the house. That's the second step.
Lifting the house is the second step. Exiting the house is the third step.
Great. Oh, thanks. And then fourth step is you know what? Let me condense this because one step has to be lifting up the dumpster, the trap, the cover, and then throwing it in. So I guess fourth one is so third one is exiting and walking towards it. Fourth one, lifting up the fucking trash
lid,
and then the lid, and then the fifth one, throwing it in.
All right, good, thank you. Let me try one more of these TE questions so I make sure that you got this. Okay.
Now wait, one second, please. Wait 1 second.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
This here. All right.
Okay, I'd like you to break going to mail a package at the post office. I want you to break that down into 4 steps.
All right. Mailing a package. Huh. All right. All right. Let me focus. So, all right. So it's a pack. I have the package with me. I gotta buy that. Oh no. All right. So I'm not gonna ask questions because you're gonna tell me what's the point. So it's a fucking paper. It's a certificate. Okay. So I'm gonna leave my house. Get in my car. Leave my house. Drive to the mail. Third step, when I'm there already, you know how they have those envelopes. So put it in the envelope. Third step. Fourth step, write down the address, destination address. Fifth step, hand it to the lady in the register and finalize the delivery.
All right, that's fine. That's 5 steps forward. That's fine. All right, so great. You're not TE polar, which means that, and you're obviously not an INFP, which means you are one of two possible types, INTP or ENTP, but it seems very clear to me that you are more. Well, I'm not super clear on this. I should probably check a little bit more. You've described what sounds to me like SE polar, but can you talk about your relationship with getting things done, getting tasks done?
Getting things done. Oh man. Yeah. All right. So I'm on the Eastern Standard Time. So we were supposed to start like at 1 p.m. I put my alarm at 12 p.m. Right. It's an hour. I'll be like, an hour's enough for me to get ready. It wasn't, as you saw. Thank you for your patience, by the way. It wasn't enough. So I have this tendency, but that's postponing. But I mean, getting things done. Yeah, I postpone a lot. I'll be honest, I postpone a lot. It's just this thing I have, dishes pile up sometimes. I'll be honest, not sometimes, often. I'm being completely honest. I have to, and I end up doing it eventually, right? But it piles up. Even the trash. I mean, no, okay, trash doesn't pile up, but I wait till it's full and I throw it away, right? Throw it off. But yes, I do postpone. I do. I mean, a lot of times I really there's some people when previous coworkers, they'd be like, when I head out for work, I head out an hour early, even if it's like a 20-minute drive. And I've never been that person. I always end up, and it's not planned. I tell myself, why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep heading out at the last possible minute? And it just ends up happening. And all right, so getting things done. Well,
Let me ask you, did this happen with you? Like,
yeah.
I've got a due date of
due dates.
sometime in the beginning of February where I have to pay the other half of the property tax bill. I could do it any time between now and when it's due, right?
Yeah.
But instead of going to town and doing it, I will remind myself between now and then 500 times to do it, that I have to do it, right? I'll be like, oh, you gotta go do that property tax thing. Don't forget, Eric, you gotta go do that thing. That's not a great example because at least that one, it's a kind of not that big of a task, and I do it later, and I'm not worried. I'm not reminding myself that much about it because it's like on the phrase, it's easy to remember. But for other kinds of tasks where I should just do it right now, I will remind myself like 50 times, and then when I finally do it, it just takes like 1 minute. I'm like, oh my god, how long am I been putting this thing on?
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm the same way. This isn't a task, but I'll just say real quick. I had an older coworker of mine, and we talked about movies. It's something to talk about, and he told me, "Hey, you should watch Raising Arizona." And I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. And I still remember, right? That was in 2021. I still haven't seen it. And I would tell myself, I remember even like a year back, I'd be at work. I'd be like, you know what? When I get home, I'm going to watch that movie.
And you still remember to this day?
Yes. I had that conversation with him, right? But I still haven't seen Raising Arizona. And it's been, 3 years already. Well, almost 4 years by the time June comes. Or September.
And you're dreading that moment. You run into that guy and he's like, have you seen it yet?
Yeah. Well, I know I won't run into him because I'm not that area anymore. But point being, I still have in my head, whenever I do see it, I want to text him, hey, I saw it. But there's a chance he might not even remember me. That was this coworker of mine.
You want to be consistent with what you said.
Yeah. So I still remember it, but I still haven't done it.
Okay. So I'm going to type you as an INTP.
Okay.
And I think it's very high likelihood. The only thing that would be the other possibility would be ENTP, but I feel very confident you're INTP, not ENTP.
Okay, cool. Why? Like, why that over?
Well, because your extroverted intuition is very second slot function, not really first slot, which is to say, you can get your pants caught on the brambles of endless parentheticals, right?
You're right. Yeah, you're right, and I think that also is a contribution to postponing or just like like because I get caught up in that. You're right. I definitely see that. Yeah.
The conflation between feelings of your body and emotions is also very eighth slot FI. So, like when I asked about your emotions, you first wanted to turn it. First, you answered the question in the sense of how you felt physically, like it's a little cold in here, and then you tried to answer it that way again. I feel comfortable. I feel more comfortable if I had gloves on, and
Yeah.
then eventually you got to some things that were kind of like emotions, but not really emotions at all. That
Yeah.
eighth slot is, I think, the most unconscious of your functions because at least seventh slot is valued. So INTPs don't have any kind of really awareness of their FI feelings, which do have physical sensations, by the way. So it's like I can give you an example. If you're about to cry, you'll feel like you have a lump in your throat.
Yeah, I'm aware of the saying, but yeah, it's just interesting. What emotion has caused something right? Well, I can definitely feel feelings, right? But what a lump in my throat?
The point is, you're super unconscious, though sometimes can be quite effective at using what's important to you and your interests in making decisions. That plays into the SE polar as well in its own way, right? It's you don't know what's precious to you very well. Although you can probably be more effective in protecting what's precious to you and knowing when your boundaries are being crossed and how to deal with that when somebody's trying to hurt your feelings than I would be. That's why it's called the place of least resistance, the polar, the blind spot, So your blind spot is doing shit, getting shit accomplished, and understanding how any given moment, if you let it pass without doing something, it's a missed opportunity. Yes, SE polar doesn't understand time passing as missed opportunity.
Yeah, and it's something I've become aware of more so in my later years, right? That's probably why I went to I've done more things like the contrary just in general, not just that, but other things, because I've now realized that, hey, I might as well do it, right? Because, like you said, a missed opportunity, that aspect, I've become more aware of it recently, right? Over the past few
Yeah.
years. So that's true what you said. Just a question. ENTP and INTP, they're both SC polar, or right or
No.
no? No? Oh,
INTP is SE polar, FI super blind. ENTP is the other way around. So I'm FI super blind. I'm FI polar, SE super blind. The thing about super blind, I call it it's like your autopilot function. So whenever you need to use your feelings for something that is consistent with your dominant nature, which is deliberation on, I guess, logical lines, but on consistency grounds. So if you're feeling, I'm not quite sure how it works with FI and TI, but for SE and F and NE, it goes like this: if I need to do something in order to extrovertedly intuit the way I want, namely, if I need to start a live stream, I do a little couple of things. Well, those things just sort of automatically, I just do them, and then all of a sudden I've done that. But only when it's necessary for me to do things is it in order to uphold my absolute values of extroverted intuition, extroverted feeling, introverted intuition. It's not on it for its own sake. I don't find it satisfying for its own sake to just get a task accomplished.
I know what you mean. For instance, me, when I have to do a task, I have to put on music. It helps. It
It does
helps.
help. Yeah.
So I totally understand when you stream, when you're doing task like painting. I completely understand that. It definitely helps. I could see it definitely helping. I would do it also. I
It
would.
helps to be watched.
Yeah. I don't have your audience, but if I had one, even if I don't have one, I would just stream myself doing something, and it's gonna help. I definitely understand that. It resonates.
Okay. So it's the thing is saying to between INTP and ENTP, here's a definitive reason you're this one and not that one is kind of impossible because I don't have a definitive FI polar test and I don't have a definitive SE polar test. I do have definitive TI polar, TE polar. I didn't give you the NI polar test. I should probably do that to make sure you're not
Okay.
you're not NI polar, but anyway, I'll give it to you. So I'm going to give you a long sentence, and I want you to cut it down to a short version of it. Get rid
Okay.
of the redundancies and extra stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
If you like to go onto the ocean, but you get seasick on a boat, but you want a job that works with the ocean, then perhaps you could join the part of the Navy that goes under the water, namely the submarine part of the Navy, and you could work as a submariner, because even though they are under the water and in the ocean, they don't have to deal with the waves on top of the ocean that will make you seasick, and you get to still have the nautical flair and all of the experience of sea times, but not have the sickness.
Oh yeah, if you want to join the Navy, but you don't want to get seasick, then join the submarine department.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Work. Excellent work. That is, you are not NI-polar. So the thing is, I don't have a definitive way to distinguish between ENTP and INTP, but I can definitively narrow you down to the two, and I can say my gut and all the indicators that I do have, they probably INTP, not ENTP.
That's cool. No, you know what? And I want to say I really respect how you're so candid about that. It's awesome that you do have, because cognitive functions, there's like how many? Like 16 total?
No, there's 8.
8? Oh, 8. But even then, right, there's like 8, but so you have a test for each. That's awesome. And you're honest enough to say that you just don't have one for those two. That's awesome. I respect that a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and also one thing real quick also, I don't know why I'm holding this, but one thing also I want to say is that have you seen a Karate Kid, right? 1984, the original.
I have, yeah, for sure.
When I stumble onto you, the interesting thing about you is that there's all these channels that there's some guy and then tons of like followers, and I'm kind of repulsed by it. And it's like Karate Kid. There's this dojo. There's an established dojo there, but he ended up choosing the man who lived at his apartment complex, and that guy was the true master of karate, right? So that's my approach to things, and that's why when I stumble onto him, I'm like, if anyone in this world would be the guy who's a master at this, I bet it's this guy. I bet it's him, because I saw you've devoted so many hours of content into this. I'm like, and seeing him, like, if anyone out there is a master at this or an expert, it has to be you. So that's just and over some like mainstream guy with like overproduced content, I hate that so much. So I want to say that you really are an expert.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you are correct. So
did you like that comparison with like me comparing you to
Mr. Miyagi?
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi. Did you like that?
The difference is, the problem with the analogy is that I actually am running a dojo, like
you are,
except in the sense that I have a YouTube channel and I have a decent number of people around, except that it's just not very popular,
No, hey man, I got like 26 subs, so you're like leagues ahead. And in fact,
I'm grateful for that, and I don't mean to be taking it for granted.
No, you're fine. But also the thing about you is that that these other channels don't have. Yeah, they might have followers and all that, but those comments are disconnected. Your community is connected. It's accessible.
It's true.
So that's a very nice thing you got going on. That's really cool. Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop this recording, and then I'll share it with you as soon as it's done uploading and processing. I mean, it's done processing, and then you can publish it whenever you want, and I'll just publish it as well. Or do you want to just publish it yourself? However you want.
Y'all feel free. You can upload it on your channel, the whole thing, and if you you can also send it to me. I want to upload it on my channel.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Talk to you later.